As-salam alaikum, my brothers and sisters. In this episode of our series, The Knights of Islam, we shall look at the life of Salahuddin Ayyubi, arguably the most famous Muslim warrior and one of the greatest chivalrous figures in history. Number 1. Early life and background. Salahuddin was born in 1137 CE in Tikrit, Iraq. He was of Kurdish origin and was raised in a military family. He grew up in Mosul, Damascus, and Aleppo, where he received training in warfare and administration. Number 2. Rise to power. At the age of 16, he started working under the great Muslim leader, Mir ad-Din Zangi, serving him for 12 years. In 1169, he became the vizier of Egypt, and 2 years later, he seized the throne and became the Sultan of Egypt and Syria. He is considered the founder of the Ayyubid Dynasty. He is also credited with reuniting Egypt and Syria under one Muslim banner, thus laying the foundation for a strong and prosperous Muslim world. No. 3. The Crusades and the Battle of Hattin in 1187, during the reign of Salahuddin, its third crusade took place. The Crusaders were a coalition force consisting of European Christians who went on a pilgrimage to the Middle East. They were led by King Louis VII of France, King Richard I of England, and Holy Roman Emperor Frederick I Barbarossa. The Muslims were naturally led by Salahuddin. The fighting between the two sides was fierce and lasted for 3 years. However, there was one decisive battle that changed the course of history. It was the Battle of Hattin in 1187, where the Muslims decisively crushed the Crusader army. As a result, Jerusalem was captured peacefully by the Muslims. After almost 90 years of Crusader rule, this victory is still celebrated as a major achievement in Islamic history. Number 4. His chivalry and mercy. Although a fierce warrior on the battlefield, Salahuddin was known for his chivalry and mercy towards his opponents. He treated Christian prisoners with honor and respect, unlike the Crusaders who burnt prisoners alive, including women and children. It allowed Jews and Christians to live in Jerusalem in peace and practice their religion freely. His noble conduct earned him the respect and admiration of not only Muslims, but even his enemies, the Christians. One of his knights wrote a detailed account of his master's campaigns, and in it, he describes how surprised the Christians were when they saw the Muslims fighting with such discipline and courage. He said, "We have found in the Sultan's army many prisoners of every rank and condition, some of them being nobles who had been taken in war and were held in great honor and esteem by their captors." Number 5. Conflict with Richard the Lionheart. Salahuddin is often portrayed as a villain in Western media, particularly in relation to his conflict with King Richard I of England, who is known as Richard the Lionheart. The two leaders clashed several times on the battlefield, but despite being enemies, they had a deep respect for each other. In 1192, after a fierce battle, they finally agreed to a truce. This allowed the Christians in Jerusalem to leave the city and go to Jaffa. Number 6. Death and legacy. After a long and illustrious career, Salahuddin passed away in 1193 in Damascus. He left behind little personal wealth, but his legacy lived on. He is remembered as a symbol of Islamic unity, justice, and bravery. Even today, he is still revered as one of the greatest warriors in Islamic history. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and share it with your friends. Also remember to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.